Hello, beautiful people. It's Cinderella. Welcome to the channel. Today, we're back again with another video, and this is also in regards to Blake Lively. And Candace Owens is sharing her thoughts and opinion regarding Blake Lively. We're going to be checking this together, and I also love your thoughts regarding this. Let's check it out.
All right, so if you've been a follower of the show, a follower of me, you know that there are about 1,012 reasons why I hate modern feminism. I speak against it the entire time. Every little modern feminist movie that comes around, it just feels fluffy. It's like air. I mean, my general thesis is that what modern feminism pardon is an army of spoiled brats who have never lived through anything at all in their entire lives. And so they sort of create this fantasy that they're a part of some cosmic struggle. I'm a modern feminist and I'm struggling against this or that. And if I'm trying to be a bit more thoughtful about why they do that, why you have these individuals who have literally perfect lives and they feel this need to problematize their perfect lives, I think it's because inside of everybody, there is this human need to believe that you have triumphed over some adversity, over some obstacle in your life. So what happens when your life is perfect? It becomes very difficult to satisfy that need. Modern feminism is born. And of course, I know you guys hate me for this because so many people love her, and that's fine. You can love her, you can bop her music, but I believe the icon of that sort of feminism is, in fact, Taylor Swift. No doubt about that. And so it is kind of saying something that her best friend is Blake Lively, and she is currently under a media assault because suddenly people are realizing that she's maybe not a nice person at all. So I'm going to run you through the background of what's going on and why it matters. First and foremost, to start with Blake Lively herself. She grew up incredibly wealthy in a very well-to-do neighborhood, as they say. Both of her parents were actors. Also, one of them doubled as a director. The other one doubled as a talent manager. She basically says that she grew up on set. So she's had this sort of LA fabulous life. She's got a famous sister who I actually like her movies better. You remember Teen Witch? Like, you know, that movie from a long time ago. That was her sister, Robin Lively, that starred in that. So her life is great. Her life has been amazing forever. And she's currently on tour right now promoting her new movie, which is entitled It Ends With Us. And people are learning via various interviews that she and her co-star, a guy named Justin Baldoni, actually sort of maybe hate each other. And this is also coming out because of some leaks that have drawn attention to this apparent rift. TMZ reported that Blake Lively has told people that there were multiple reasons that Justin Baldoni made her feel uncomfortable. It's a feminist buzzword. Uncomfortable on set of It Ends With Us. What do you think he did, Justin? Would he say something mean to her? Well, sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ that there was this scene that they had to film, right? And in the scene, Justin has to lift Blake into the air. And apparently, Justin has a history of back problems. So before he lifted Blake, he went onto his set. He met with his on-set trainer, and asked, how much does Blake weigh? Because he has back issues, so he's just trying to figure out, like, if he lifts her, is he going to re-injure his back? Now, he didn't go up and ask her this. He just asked his trainer, which would have been the appropriate person to ask that question, so he could figure out how to train and to protect his back from any injury. Well, Blake later found out about Justin's comment, and she felt that he completely fat-shamed her. So that tension was just in the air. How dare you try to protect your own back? You just go into it, lift me, and see what happens. And if you got to get a surgery and go on pills after that for pain, oh, well, too bad. I want to be clear here. Blake beefing with her co-stars is a very common thing over the years for people that grew up on Gossip Girl. That was kind of where she had her big break, so to speak. You'll recall that her and her co-star Leighton Meester, despite the fact that they were on-screen best friends, actually off-screen were not friends at all. And it was because, allegedly, Blake Lively had a difficult personality, which was reinforced when actor Armie Hammer notoriously got fired from the Gossip Girl team after playing the role of Blake Lively's love interest because he referred to her while they were apparently filming this dinner scene. He allegedly referred to her in front of the entire cast, just said that she was a massive bitch. And so they fired him. They were just like, yeah, you can't speak to her like that. That's probably fair. Like, you can't really speak to somebody like that. It's not fair. Anyways, but was he trying to say something? Maybe. then it was reported that in her movie A Simple Favor, where she starred alongside Anna Kendrick, that they were also not friends, and that basically the directors and producers of the film had to tell them to pretend to be friends for the press events, because it was coming across that, you know, these two obviously don't like each other and they still are not friends. Okay, so I just wanted to give you that general background, is that she's kind of known to not get along with people. Now, the reason for that, if you're a feminist, you go, oh, maybe she's just standing up for herself, because that's what she has told people in interviews. She's opened up about the fact that she struggles for equality, all of the struggles that she faces on behalf of trying to stand up as a woman. Here's a direct quote. She said, as a woman, you're afraid of a label that you may acquire by demanding fair treatment for yourself that you know that you've earned. And when she means that she's struggling for fair treatment, in another interview, she once opened up that, you know, she's raising her daughter with the right idea. She has a young daughter, and her and Ryan Reynolds, also an actor, decided in their household to refer to bugs as she and her instead of he and him. I'm being 100% legitimate there. They had decided to refer to bugs as he and her because, I mean, she and her, because you obviously could see how a little girl could then think, I don't know, like, are all bugs guys? And that's not the right idea. So they've decided to engender all of the bugs as she and her. And I'm just wondering, like, is that good for feminism? I don't know, because in my house, we kind of squish bugs. So maybe she's just thinking she's just got to stomp on a woman to get ahead because her family has told her to refer to bugs as she and her. And so that's what I mean when I just say just a general background of modern feminism just being unbearable. Like that, if I was at someone's house and they were like, please refer to the bugs as she and her, I just would be like, I don't really think I want to do that or be here.
So we recently started checking and covering the Blake Lively and the Justin Baldoni situation. And obviously, based on what we've checked so far and what others have got to say or share their opinions regarding this, is giving power and control. And obviously, what Candace Owens just broke down here is the exact same thing lots of people have been saying. It's giving power, control, want to take everything or want people to see that likable image, want to send the message and all that. That is what is giving. And obviously, like, this is also kind of exposing Hollywood behind that nobody knows about or nobody talks about, because obviously lots of them are used to getting their way with things and all that. So when things don't go their way, then they try to use power, they try to use what they know best they can, on somebody that they know. Like, it's not making sense. Obviously, now people get to see the real people behind the actor mask or actor shield, because something about this is a lot deeper, and we already said this before, that is a lot deeper than we think, or is a lot deeper and something they're not saying.
Or be here. And so it's happened, and now you get to watch this, because a lot of that is innuendo. Okay, you're placing things together. People are saying she's not nice, but of course nobody's going to come out in Hollywood and outright say that she's awful. But you're not going to be able to watch her in an interview, because what's happened is that this Norwegian journalist named Kirsty Fla has come out and said, you know, a lot of people have been speaking about this behind the scenes, and I want to say that Blake Lively was so awful to me when I've interviewed her that she made me want to reconsider my career for asking her basic questions. So here's just the first part of that interview. It's Blake Lively alongside her co-star. In 2016, her co-star's name is Parker Posey, and they were filming this 1930 period drama. And Kirsty just wanted to ask Blake Lively a question about, you know, first and foremost, Blake Lively was pregnant while she was filming this. So she opens up with just like a nice compliment about her cute little bump. Take a listen.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
What about my bump?
You've got two nice ones.
And they are kind of bumps, aren't they?
No, not bumps. The lovely lady lumps. Check it out.
Thank you, thank you.
Are
You
you
like the
there?
movie? Are you a Woody Allen fan?
I love most of his movies, and this one was so, like, visually amazing.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
So that's just a start. It's going to get so much worse. But I just want to let you know that she's already kind of like, oh, why are you asking me about my bump? Like, how dare you do that? As if this woman meant any harm in it. Just like she looks cute. She has a bump. But, you know, this was in 2016. I would say that modern feminism peaked in 2016, like women were just doing things, you know, it was like Hillary Clinton was running for president and losing, but people were all about like, you know, Me Too movement, the way men speak to women, why women have to even be women. And so you could see that like a woman just going in there and saying something about her pregnancy would instantly offend her. And then she did something way worse, the journalist. She asked her about the costumes. Take a listen.
Did you guys love wearing those kind of clothes that you...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, working in
Everyone
digital.
wants to talk about the clothes, but I wonder if they would ask the men about the clothes.
I would.
I love Jesse's
He has
suits
some
and
beautiful.
how
That's what I'm
he
saying. His wardrobe was beautiful.
I know.
Corey's
Everybody.
wardrobe was
I know.
gorgeous.
He's
Those
so great.
high-waisted pants.
He's so great.
I wish men
And
wore
sorry,
high-waisted pants
too.
like
I
that.
know.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is your brain on feminism. I can't even explain this. Like I can't even, it's a very good question to ask when you are shooting a 1930 period drama because people dressed fabulously. And so anytime you're doing something that dives into the past, I'm always fascinated with the costume design. Case in point, probably most notorious is Peaky Blinders. I absolutely loved that series and Cillian Murphy and the way the boys dressed and stood. In a second, I would have asked Cillian Murphy about the costume design on set. And so I thought, of course, there's got to be somewhere out there because Cillian Murphy is known to kind of play a lot of these period dramas of people asking him questions about what he wears. And would you believe this, guys? There is. So that's your brain on modern feminism. You get asked the question, you're immediately offended because, of course, they would never ask this to a man. The woman's like, yeah, no, I would ask that to a guy because, like, yeah, that makes sense. Here's your brain when you don't suffer from that and you're just a guy and you just think logically and try to, I guess, come up with the answer. Take a listen to him being asked about his outfits for Oppenheimer.
There's a moment in the movie that I really love where we see Oppenheimer and he's wearing this army uniform. And someone says to him, like, "What? This isn't you. You're a scientist.
Yes.
Why are you wearing that?" And I think it really highlights how clothing can help us unlock and harness like ourselves and who we are. So for you guys, with the costumes in this film, how did it help in unlocking these characters and finding out who they were for you?
That's a great question. He after that moment in the film, and if you remember, he kind of in our story, he puts on the hat and picks up the pipe, and it's him kind of creating this persona. It's him kind of self-mythologizing. And
First of all, before we continue or before we hear the other part of the video, I just want to say something. Now, you see the difference between when a man is being asked a question and a woman being asked a question, especially in regards to movies, series, and actors and all that. Listen, sometimes it just doesn't take long for you to figure out or for you to know who is behind the mask because obviously lots of the celebrities hide behind the mask until you see them outside of them being an actor or them being the actresses. Then you see their true persona because I mean lots of people or everybody have been saying the exact same thing about Blake Lively, and obviously it is giving feminist angle because it just somebody is just curious and just wanted to know. But it seems like the society we currently live in love to paint people to be victims or love this victim narrative because it sells. So obviously lots of people think that it is best or it is better for them to play the victim angle so that people listen to them. Obviously is not making sense, and this is also going to like kind of exposing what happens in Hollywood that lots of people don't talk about or people we don't even get to see or we don't hear because they paint it with all the glamour and everything. Lots of things or behaviors are being hidden, but obviously now I mean lots of people are way invested in this Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's situation. Let me know what you think.
we worked very closely with our wonderful costume designer to design the clothes, and particularly I wanted to get his kind of his silhouette, you know, because he was very fragile. He was very, very slim, and I wanted to get that silhouette right.
There you have it, guys. He just answered the question because, of course, people are going to be interested. It's kind of a thing that's known that Cillian Murphy kind of kills it in these outfits. And you are drawn when you are watching film. There's an element of that that's so beautiful when you see them stepping into another decade and the way that they dress and how a simple hat can add so much depth to a scene. And again, that is why I loved Peaky Blinders so much. I even loved the way they stood. That I would just be asking a question like, hey, why did you stand like that? But you see, this is the stuff that men don't suffer from. And ironically, she's trying her hardest in that interview not to be a woman when she's asked that question, like, you can't ask me about pregnancy, you can't ask me about outfits. And in reality, her reacting like that, she leans into the oldest and truest stereotype about women, over emotional. right? We just can't think clearly. We're just so emotional. Without the question, she doesn't even actually answer it. And instead just makes another woman feel like absolute crap for asking a question that like she should have just answered. And so this woman came out and said, yeah, I almost literally quit my job because, by the way, that wasn't the only time that she had interviewed her. She interviewed her for also a simple favor. She was similarly rude. And I think that in her modern feminist mind, she thinks that when she's being rude, she's taking a stance for women, and she's not. Do you want to know why? Because the majority of women, the overwhelming majority, as in like everybody, like the 99.9 percentile of women, have real struggles in their lives. They're not playing dress up, right? They don't have to think that the biggest struggle they're going to go through in the day is going to be somebody asking a question about whether or not they liked wearing the outfits while they were playing pretend. What a wonderful blessing your life is if you wake up and you're like, this is the struggle that I face. Somebody's going to ask me whether or not I liked playing pretend when I wore that outfit. So she problematizes it, everything in her life. And so to see this backlash against Blake Lively, I don't have an issue against her personally. I think it's great that her and Ryan Reynolds put their family first in a lot of ways. And she seems like she's a great mother and a great wife. But I'm grateful that she's going through this because it's making a lot of people question what, in fact, modern feminism has become. And this is it. It's whiny, it's bratty, and it needs to end. So to that, I say thank you to Blake Lively.
Obviously, this is a good breakdown, and I love Candace's stance on this because lots of people did not actually do a deep dive. They just believe the first word that they hear and say, oh well, a woman has cried and a woman has complained, so obviously let the entire world come crashing, or let the entire world believe a woman, because we're told to believe a woman, right? Or believe all women when they say something or when they cry, without doing due diligence or to do your findings and research to know the root of things before drawing conclusion. And obviously people have been picking sides regarding the Blake Lively and the Justin Baldoni situation. People, only for people to realize that hold up, something about this is not making sense. And it seems like somebody is trying to give power and control, or trying to be controlling in this situation. And obviously the both of them might be in the exact same event, maybe power and control, egocentric and all that. But you see, like, one is giving domineering over the other, and something about this their situation is not making sense, obviously. And yeah, is also kind of letting people know the ins and the things that happens in Hollywood that nobody talks about, sometimes like the behind the scenes or events that is not being presented, but also to let you know the outside image, or the image behind the actors and the actresses, or the image outside of them being actors and actresses, to see, like, more so revealing their true personality or who they truly are outside of their actors and actresses persona. But I really love your thoughts and your contribution in the comments below. What do you think about this Blake Lively and the Justin Baldoni situation? I mean, everybody have their thoughts and opinion, and obviously people are still gonna pick sides regardless. But I really love your thoughts. What do you think about the situation? Have you seen the movie It Ends With Us? What are your thoughts generally about the movie? And also, lots of people can also do body language analysis. I really love your contribution in the comments below.